Welcome in to KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. Week 1, the 2023 season. Preparing to kick off. We have come to Farmington High School as the Farmington Phoenix will open it up against the Region 3 Pleasant Grove Vikings. Thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Dean Stewart. Please be joined by Scott Smith. Scott, what a way to start. Two teams were in our Rewind preseason top 16. Both return a lot of talent, but both have some new players, new faces this season.
That's right, Dave. Excited to be here. Kind of a repeat of last year. We had these two teams meeting in the first game. Close game. Ended up being a really good game. Came down to the end with Farmington prevailing there. So excited to see if we have another good one tonight.
Interesting matchup. You talked about it. Met last year. They meet tonight. PG. They return a lot of players in their receiving core, but they welcome in a new quarterback. They transfer Carson Rasmussen, a junior. And talking to the coaching staff, they like what they've seen from him in his first year here at PG.
Yeah, it'll really be interesting to see how he integrates into that offense. If he's able to, make some noise there and really gel into the whole cadre of returning starters PG has. Somewhat deep, quite a few more returning starters than on the other side of the field, Dave.
It's interesting. They do return a lot in their receiving core. He's got a lot of options. Meanwhile, you talk about the Phoenix, and this is a group that made it to the semifinal last year, first time in school history. They graduated some key players on their offense, but they return maybe the most key in now the 4-year starter, Easton White, the quarterback.
Yeah, all eyes will be on him tonight, seeing how he starts off that season, throwing a few new wide receivers, and see if he can get started early.
This is a Farmington group. A lot of the defense has moved on. Runyon graduated early last year, so we're going to see a lot of new faces, new players for both sides of the football. It's the Phoenix and the Vikings, Week 1, ready to start our 2023 season for you right here on KSLSports.com. Rewind, Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann & Associates, and brought to you by Modern Missionary. Farmington in the dark uniforms here tonight, Pleasant Grove in the road lights. As you see the players lining up, and it will be Farmington here defending the south end zone, will receive the opening kickoff.
Yeah, beautiful night here tonight, Dane. I think about 86 degrees, got a little bit of a breeze there to cool us off, so ideal weather for a good early August football game.
Talk about some of the other returners for this one. One player we didn't talk about for Farmington, but transferring to changes. It's going to be really interesting to see how these two teams start off. It will be the offense of Farmington, assuming that the kickoff is not returned. Just get the clock oriented here before we kick things off. Heidemann Associates, a full-service law firm, locations all along the Wasatch Front. If you have any legal needs, contact the experts at Heidemann & Associates for a free consultation. Just call 801-754-4240. Of course, realignment underway in the state of Utah this year. No more Region 4 in 6A, now Region 3, where the Vikings hail from, and Farmington in the condensed Region 1. With high expectations, high hopes here for this season.
Yeah, kind of a fun way to shake it up a little bit. New looks within the regions, and a few different games. So it'll be fun to watch this season, Dave.
Back to return, the opening kickoff for Farmington. Leaky Bird, the senior, as well as Ua for the Phoenix. Sit down! Sit down! Got Hawaiian 9 here for the Phoenix student section.
Aloha, here we go.
Ty Bird and Terry Lua back to receive the football.
Last night was the state's opener. Lone Peak defeating Bingham. The rest of the state here tonight. 2023 underway for the Vikings and the Phoenix. A low line drive kick right through the fingertips. Captured at the 5. And for a return up the middle. Nice seam, little spin move, stood up just inside the 20. And Farmington will come out to start on offense.
Yeah, a little exciting there with Keenan and Ua. Made a good adjustment there. Avoid some disaster and get it out near the 20-yard line to start.
Talk about players that will make Jay Metcalf, the Brooks brothers. And we were talking with Coach Coast before the game, asked him about Easton. He said, it's really fun because he can call offense now. That maturation and development he's undergone all the way up to this season. He'll start in the shotgun. Easton White. Motion, that is Metcalf. Coming back near side. First play, they'll go on the ground.
Give on the inside.
Luke's with the run there for Farmington.
Yeah, we'll test in the line there to start off the game. Picked up 2 yards there. Good positive game to start.
Luke's one of the returning contributors from last year's group. Formation, they'll throw into the flag, just a step in front of Metcalf. Incomplete, and this is exactly what Coach Watkins wanted at PG. Said, hey, we want to put them in 3rd and longs. And here's the first situation of such for Farmington tonight.
Yeah, and single coverage down on there. If he catches that, breaks the tackle, there's a lot of daylight there. So
3rd and
testing
6
the edge
here for Farmington. White gonna hand off. Hoops, nice spin move and a first down as it is the running back Travis Hoops, the junior, moving the chains here for Farmington.
Hoops breaking tackles there, just right up the middle. Really testing that middle to see if they can open something up here early.
Boy, interesting on 3rd and long. The confidence to run the football pays off there.
Yeah, a little bit crazy. Fun to watch.
First down here. Empty backfield for the Phoenix. Hoops motioning back. They'll throw this out. Looking for a little lane. Smith bottled up behind the line of scrimmage. Boy, great pursuit there defensively by Gabe McCoy.
Yeah, a little bubble screen out there to the near side of the field, and Pleasant Grove just had that sniffed out, got off the blocks quick. Stopped that play.
One of the things this PG defense, we saw them last year against Lone Peak, flew around and flying around here early on. They were all over that play. Loss of 3. 2nd and 13. Thrown into the flat, caught, penalty flag in here on the play. A gain of 2 on the reception there by Smith. They go right back to the senior. We'll see what the call is here.
Yeah, Russian 5. Farmington did a good job of picking that up. Let's see what the call is.
An eligible receiver downfield will back this up. I think. Yes.
Yeah, that lineman got down quick because that play didn't develop very slowly. That was really quick. Shooting out really fast to get that call.
So rather than having back to original yardage, this will be 2nd down and 18. White, play action, throw deflected. Boy, good read, good hands there from Trevor Brady, the senior.
Great hands there, getting his hand into there on the slant. Pleasant Grove bottling up that middle pretty darn well, covering.
And so it's going to be 3rd and 18 here for Farmington.
Farmington just trying to get about half of those yards back. Unsuccessful, so now they're faced with 3rd and very long.
This PG defense, they look big. Good length, good size.
They do, Dane.
3rd and long, White stepping up.
Good protection.
A little bit of room. He's going to try to gain it with his feet. White to the 35, up to the 37, moving the pile. Boy, he's close. Needed 18 and got about 17. Going to be 4th and 1.
What an effort. I thought he was going to be snuffed down there just past the 10-yard marker, and he battled. This will make for an interesting decision here early for Farmington.
I would think you punt this, just given you're on your own side of the 50, but
let's see what Coach thinks.
They might look to be aggressive here. 4th and 1.
Big play early, Dane.
Yes, it is. Watch for maybe the hard count here, huh? Everybody in the box for the Vikings. They'll snap it. 4th and 1. White in trouble. Looking for something. And PG's got it.
Pleasant Grove, excellent penetration. Sealed off the edge. Nothing doing. Easton White, nowhere to go. Pleasant Grove with a huge opportunity here early, Dane.
Boy, a 4th
all the way back inside the 30-yard line to start their first series.
Yeah, a 4th and 1 for Farmington, and PG able to drop it for a big loss, and they'll start at the Farmington 29.
Coach Walkenhorst couldn't have drawn that up any better to start this game on offense.
Yeah, so now he's going to bring in Carson Rasmussen. This offense, they're just yards away from points here. 5 wide to start. Rasmussen, first throw is a Viking, deflected, incomplete.
Good hands there. I believe that was Jones with his hands up in the air, Lilo Jones. Pleasant Grove spreading the field out.
How about the tempo here? They're right back on it on 2nd down. Rasmussen looking outside. That caught. Good hands there by Sean Cottle. He'll pick up 6.
Farmington rushing 4 here. Pleasant Grove just trying to get some maybe early short completions, build some momentum, get them into short yardage situations here and have some success.
Be a 3rd and 4 here. Not 3rd and 5.
Wilcox in the backfield.
Motion there from Clark. They'll give it off. Up the middle, trying to break a tackle. Boy, just holding on to make the stop there was Carter Chingy for Farmington.
Good job by the line holding on there. I thought Wilcox was going to break that. Maybe
would have had a touchdown.
He probably would have had an easy time getting into the end zone. First down for sure. So now, here we go. Pleasant Grove now with the decision to make. 4th and short. Do you take the points, Dane?
4th and 2 here. I think I'm rolling it. This is essentially a free possession, right? 4th and 2 for PG.
You really set a tone in this game with this call right here.
Yeah, well, we're going to take a timeout. PG taking the timeout. They want to talk about it. Timeout PG in the first quarter. 4th down when we come back.
If you want to avoid your AC breaking down this summer, the best thing you can do is stay on top of your AC's annual maintenance. But if you do find yourself with an air conditioner blowing hot air, Any Hour Services technicians service all brands, and they can usually get to you pretty quick. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. Whether you need maintenance, repair, or replacement, the technicians at Any Hour Services can help you keep your home comfortable all summer long. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Welcome back. 4th down and 2 here for Pleasant Grove. Vikings, I like this call, Scott. I think you go for it, right? You start at the 29, right. Why not?
And I like spreading the field out wide, create maybe some open lanes here for good things to happen.
They bring the big man, Trevor Gates, into the backfield. Here to the right of Rasmussen on 4th down. They've got to get to the 19-yard line. Rasmussen gonna keep it low in the pads. First down, Pleasant Grove.
Tough run following his blocker up the middle.
Boy, and this is where the spot, the near side official looked short. The far side, I thought he had it.
Yeah, this will be interesting to watch.
Yeah, they got it. They needed the hash, and the ball's across the hash. Oh, they're going to measure it here. All right.
Going to get a measurement here.
Here's the tough thing, right? And Scott and I, we've known each other for a while. We always talk about things. It's always hard. We're at midfield. And so you kind of judge off an angle. Sometimes you don't have the best angle, huh?
Sure, especially when you're watching the near side and the far side official. Yeah. And we'll see here. Interesting call there. Spread the field out and then have the quarterback run up the middle.
And he does have it.
Looks like
half a football. So the gamble pays off for the Vikings.
Yeah, Pleasant Grove got to be feeling good about themselves right now. Come out, assert themselves. Great field position. Kind of punch Farmington right in the mouth there to get that first down and assert themselves early.
Aiden Franson in the backfield here for the Vikings on first down to the right of Carson Rasmussen. And we've got motion up front, movement up front. Be a false start. We'll back up Pleasant Grove.
Move it back 5 yards. Do it again.
Always tough. Week 1 games. We saw a lot of these last night. Procedural penalties with Lone Peak and Bingham week 1. Just some of those kinks that still get worked out in an offense.
Yeah, frustrating when you build some momentum. You need that early start. See if they can't get that back.
So 1st and 15 after the penalty. Inside of 8 to play here in the first quarter. Kept by Rasmussen. Nice step back inside. He'll pick up the penalty yards and more. Gain of 7 for Carson Rasmussen on first down.
Rasmussen on the keeper, brought down by Houston Hunt.
They've ran him a lot tonight. Just first quarter.
They have run him a lot tonight. We'll see if that slows down as the game goes on.
Well, it's one of the things talking with Coach Walkenhurst before the game said, look, that's an element he's got to his game. Hadn't really done it before just due to the nature of the previous offense he's played in, but tonight they'll do it and has been successful with it. Second down, Rasmussen again stepping up. Those linebackers waiting, able to make 2 of them miss, and Rasmussen picking up 7 yards. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, good recognition there, the defense, as they spread the field out, pulled a lot of people out of the middle there, created a gap there. Pleasant Grove seems to be content with just short yardage, build momentum, and move up the field.
Another 3rd down here for PG. Everyone in the box for this Farmington defense. They'll hand off. First down, as that was Franson with the run. And it'll be 1st and goal for the Vikings.
Pleasant Grove really pounding that front, making sure that Farmington stays honest here on defense. In the middle here. Let's see at what point in time they decide to exploit the edge.
Ball spotted at the 5-yard line, and Farmington trying to get a timeout, and Farmington will get it. Timeout, Farmington, 6:48 to go, with 1st and goal for Pleasant Grove when we come back. Welcome back. KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week, presented to you by Heidemann & Associates and Modern Missionary. Thank them for their sponsorships making this possible. If you need any menswear business, go check out Modern Missionary. More than just missionary fitting, they'll take care of you. And of course, Heidemann Associates, full-service law firm. Want to thank both of them for their sponsorship of Rewind's Game of the Week.
I'm going to have to check out Modern Missionary here in the next couple months, Dane.
There you go. 1st and goal. Rasmussen leaked the running back into the flat. Touchdown, Pleasant Grove. First points of the season to Bronco Winterton.
Bronco Winterton, great job coming out of the backfield there. Just sitting down, finding that space, wide open field there, and flat for a touchdown.
Well, you saw that play developing. You could see that the back was not picked up. Good read there by Rasmussen, and Bronco running back like, hey, just like that, eh?
Here we go. Here we go. Pleasant Grove on the scoreboard. Starting fast, starting early.
Whistles before the snap here.
We got some movement. We'll push him back. Try that again.
False start on Pleasant Grove. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, they'll mark 5 yards back here rather than the 20-yard try. It'll be 25. Parker Hall. PAT is up, and this is no good. Wide to the left. The penalty comes back to bite the Vikings, but they still have the lead. 6-0, Pleasant Grove, Rasmussen to Winterton.
Okay, Pleasant Grove coming out first to score here. Need to clean up those line issues, but Coach Walkenhorst has got to be happy with the way that they've started here. The way the defense stood firm, and the way the offense came out and just really stayed with the game plan that he talked about early. Getting some short gains, working on just momentum and small wins. Really paid off for him there, Dan, on the short field.
Well, I think going back to that, even the defense, right? He talked about wanting to get Farmington in some 3rd and longs and try to push this Farmington offense, and it's paid off early on. Just the one possession, but they were successful in getting the stop. And look, Farmington executed well on some of those 3rd and longs. It was just a tough fourth down play for him.
Yeah, we'll see if Farmington can respond here, Dane.
Once again, back to receive the kick. Bird and Ua. It's Farmington looking for their second possession of the ball game. Different kickoff man here for the Vikings. This one in the air, caught at the 8. Looking for a return up the middle. A little stiff arm there put on by Bird. And a good return. Farmington will come out at their own 29-yard line. Scott, what if you're Farmington, anything you'd look to do the same, differently here on drive number 2?
Yeah, I think be interesting to see. I'd like to see them open it up and have White take a couple shots here. We didn't get to see too much throwing down the field, but who knows?
Be a 1st and 10. We saw a lot of underneath, some runs, a couple screen plays, and trying to help him get settled in. Only a few throws down the field of White on that first drive was deflected. So to your point, they really haven't stretched it very much yet. We'll see if they do it here on the second possession. Motion from Metcalf. Jake coming back near side. They'll go back to the ground here. Oops, now at 3rd or 4th carry of the game. They'll pick up 4.
Testing that line again. Similar play to the way they started out the game. Similar formation and then pounding it up the middle. So once again, just trying to get some positive yards.
Been running right into the teeth of this PG line, which is big.
Stout. Just look at them. They are stout.
They're big. 2nd and 6 here. The bunch formation. They throw. It's caught. Dan Orr working through traffic. Charlie able to pick up all 6. First down here for Farmington.
Yeah, good timely play there as Pleasant Grove brought the pressure. White just threw over the top of that out of the flat there. Are they going to measure this, Dane?
Yeah, I thought one official pointed a first down, but it does look short here. And now I think they're going to call out for the measurement. Yeah, I think they had to get to the hash, and the way that ball is spotted, it looks awfully close. So
it does look awfully close. Maybe a hair short.
In fairness, last night I was doing the game Bingham Lone Peak, and there was a call where I thought officials made a first down gesture as well, but they were making another signal, so I got that one wrong. I might be 0 for 2 here to start the season. That's not a good look.
Uh-oh, you're due.
Stretch this, and does someone have an index card?
That's right, Dave. Just short. Just short. So what is your 3rd and half a centimeter play, Dane?
I think I'm going to give it to Hoops. I'm going to trust him. And I might try to stretch this, actually. I might try to get off tackle.
Open up the middle there a little bit.
See if I can't get around the edge.
Okay. We'll see.
We'll go 2 backs here.
The 4th and short last time didn't pay off running. Let's see what this does. 2 in the back.
Yeah, they got Metcalf in the backfield here. I like the decision there. You see PG planning on that interior run. They'll go with Metcalf, and he won't get it. Stood up again, and this is Trevin Gates, the senior, bursting through with the TFL.
Pleasant Grove. Good job of bottling that up. Not being drawn off by the back coming out of the backfield there. Staying home, bottling that up. Now they're pushed back 2 yards. Now you're back down to a 4th and short situation.
Another 4th and short for Farmington on their own side of the 50, and the offense stays on the field again. 4th and 2 here for the Phoenix. Loops in the backfield. Metcalf in motion. White rolling. I think there was a little early movement there.
There we go. This is going to change.
Yes, it will.
Decision, Dane.
So the penalty will force Farmington now to punt this away.
Looks like the Farmington line caught the bug there, Dane. Passed on by the Pleasant Grove line. So early in the year, you expect things like this as they work through new personnel, new calls.
We were talking with someone unassociated with the coaching staff here, but they said, look, the line. Right? That's an area that we'll see get better over the course of the season. It's game one. It's first quarter. You get some of those jitters and timing and whatnot, but that's one that can be, boy, a big one. Big penalty is a great punt, fair caught at the 35, and now the Vikings will come back out on offense.
That's right, McCoy with a fair catch there. Once again, decent field position to start.
Yeah. This time, PG, go ahead.
We'll see if Pleasant Grove's game plan changes at all here. Pretty successful the first time out of the field, just taking what's given to them. Short yardage, pounding that line, and taking little bits at a time.
See, if they stay with that, or maybe they try to open it up a little bit. First down for the Vikings. Boy, you see Farmington showed a little bit of pressure there. They back out of it. Rasmussen, quick decision, firing outside, caught. Good run there by Mekhi Peterson as he'll pick up 8 yards.
Yeah, I like the play call there. Farmington only rushed 3. Pleasant Grove bunched it into the middle and then caught number 6 out. Running out into the flat. Good design play.
Rasmussen feels very confident early on. It's read, throw, right? Like good decisions, quick decisions from Carson here early on. We'll go under center here on second down. I formation, old school football. Hand off. Nice
just
step.
Power football.
Yeah, Franzen with the run, gain of 7.
Yeah, I really like to see that. Look, that was fun. Under center, and let's just pound it.
That's the kind of football I watched growing up. None of this 5 wide, spread them out kind of stuff, right?
We're seeing a lot of stuff from Pleasant Grove here early.
We have.
Really mixing it up, trying to keep this Farmington defense on its heels.
Pressure being shown there. Did Farmington come across the line early? No movement here.
That'll push him back.
PG going to be backed up here on the false start. So 1st and 15 now for the Vikings.
We'll see if that rattles Rasmussen at all, or if he can just take that in stride. Seems that everything that's been thrown at him so far really handled calmly.
Well, because you think about it, they had a 1st and 15 on the previous drive, and he ran for 8, and next thing you know, it's first down.
Didn't seem to phase him.
Ball's out quickly, caught by McCoy. Cale turning upfield, and a gain there of 10 for Cale McCoy. This PG offense looking like an experienced group.
They are. Trips up at the top of the field there. Great job of drawing the defenders back into soft defense and just taking what was there.
And I love the tempo. You're putting pressure on this Farmington D to get back, get set quickly. Second down. Rasmussen. Oh, good look there. Nice little double moves. Through one tackle. Down to the 30 is Peterson. And the Vikings are on the move.
Mekhi Peterson finding that open spot and just sitting there. I think Pleasant Grove's doing a great job here, mixing up their looks, really keeping up that tempo as you mentioned earlier, and Farmington having to adjust with that up tempo. Really a good job by Pleasant Grove here.
Rasmussen looks very comfortable in this offense.
He does.
First down. Back on the ground here, trying to get outside. Boy, good tackle there. I thought the stiff arm was well positioned by Franzen, but Austin Wilcox didn't care. Nice tackle.
Yeah, that was a great tackle by Wilcox on the end. The offensive line did a great job of blocking, really shifting down there, opening that up, giving an opportunity there. He breaks the tackle, Dane, and he's going.
Yeah. Well, I thought that stiff arm was going to do it. I mean, that's a heck of a job by Wilcox to fight through that.
Yeah, impressive tackle.
Second down. This is maybe the most patience we've seen from PG, and maybe a little too patient. That play clock winding down. The Vikings going to have to take a timeout. Timeout, Pleasant Grove. 1:49 to go here in our opening quarter. Welcome back here. Dane Stewart, Scott Smith, Pleasant Grove, Farmington. Been an interesting battle here early on. Pleasant Grove down Region 3 have they've looked good here early. They've got a second down, second drive of the game, trying to make it a 2-possession game. Rasmussen looking deep, has a man just out in front. Was looking for Cale McCoy. Got one hand on it, but just 6 inches long.
That's the downfield play we've been looking for. All these short yardage plays, pounding the line, kind of open that up. Looked like he might have had a step, but just outside of his outstretched hand there. I like the play call.
Yeah.
Now you're in a 3rd and short. I think that was the right time for that. Let's see what they do here on 3rd down.
3rd down, and now a timeout taken by Farmington. So, boy, a lot of timeouts being taken in this first quarter. Timeout Phoenix. They didn't like the defense. They'll have a chance to get it set up when we come back.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit any of our locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
Welcome back. 3rd down.
Critical play here for Farmington. We'd rather not get down 2 scores here early, Dane.
5 receivers here for Pleasant Grove. Rasmussen. Oh, he's going to keep it. Rasmussen has the first down. Boy, you spread him out. And even the inside routes, Scott, are all going outside. The linebackers flow, and it's like the Red Sea.
That's right. That middle sure is opening up a lot. We'll see what Farmington does. Make some adjustments there. That play seems to be there a lot tonight.
First down here for Pleasant Grove. They're back inside the red zone.
That Pleasant Grove line creating a lot of holes.
Rasmussen, how about this? Heavy pass pro, they'll look to run out of it. Oh, Franson, boy, he felt that one. Coming up was Dante Coates, the senior, laying some wood, and now a late flag coming in.
Little extra going on there after the play, Dane.
Boy, that's a great tackle by Coates. Looks like he might be feeling that one a little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good hit on the helmet there. Excellent play to come up and fill that gap. Farmington needed something big.
Yeah.
Big play. Get some people excited. Boy, he's still shaking up.
The personal foul here is going to go against the Phoenix.
And Dane, that's what you hate to see. A big play, you make a great stop. To have it partially negated by a penalty.
Of course, not an automatic first down, and so due to the spot, it's half the distance. It'll be 2nd and 2 now for Pleasant Grove. Rasmussen, quick throw. Franson trying to stretch outside. Franson brought down to the line of scrimmage, nothing else. Good pursuit there by the Farmington D, led by Dante Coates.
Yeah, good job of staying home on their assignments, following the line, making sure that running back was accounted for. I think they learned from the last series.
I was going to say, we saw the running back leak out a couple times here. That time, Farmington was ready. Inside of a minute to go here in our first quarter. 3rd down for the Vikings. No help over the top. Rasmussen finds a lane. First down and more. Carson takes it to the 1. 1st and goal, PG.
Yeah, did a good job with his eyes, looking downfield, keeping that defense honest like that he might throw. Once he saw that middle open up, he tucked it and ran. Pretty good field awareness right now from Carson. Just really looking like more of a seasoned quarterback here. Very comfortable, making good decisions.
Yeah, I really like what we've seen from him. 1st and goal for the Vikings. Again, Rasmussen under center here. See if they try to pound it in. Lead blocker walking into the end zone with contact in the teal. It's 12-0 as it's Franson with the touchdown run.
Pleasant Grove back to what's been working. Pounding that line behind that big line. We'll see here. Looks like they may try and get that missed PAT back.
We'll pull out the analytics card. It says when you are up by 12 with less than 30 seconds to go in the first quarter on a Sunday evening, you go for it. So
that's right. That's the part I read, Dave.
That's what the card says. So I formation, play action. Rasmussen stood up, brought down, and the Farmington defense able to negate it. But the lead, still the PG. It's 2 possessions, 12-0. The Vikings with the lead on the road. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. Welcome back. 12-0, Pleasant Grove. Yeah, I had expectations for PG this year. I thought, hey, third year for Coach Walkenhurst. He's got experience coming back in terms of weapons he's got. He's got a talented quarterback, albeit first year in the program, in Carson Rasmussen, and they've looked that way here in this opening quarter.
Yeah, it seemed like that seasoned group that come back really showing here.
Off the backs, fielded inside the 10. Good return. Ua taking this up to the 31-yard line. And that's where the Farmington offense will come out. Third series. See if they can find some flag. We got a flag on the play here.
Looks about the spot where you'd see a legal block.
We'll see if Scott the prognosticator is correct. That'll hurt the starting field position there.
Farmington just not able to get out of their own way here early, Dane. But no matter where they start, fresh set of downs. Let's see what they can do with it. So on my predictions, I'm now 1 from 1 in my broadcasting career. I should retire.
You should retire now? Yeah.
Go out on top.
Hey, I'm 0 for 2 to start the season, so, you know.
Wow.
You got me beat by a long way.
There we go. Let's see if I can hold that the rest of the game.
First down here for the Phoenix, starting at their own 15. Easton White. Boy, I
looked
thought
like he was held up a bit there, Dane.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
No call.
Drops to the turf, incomplete. Bring up a second down.
It'll be interesting to see down 2 scores here right at the end of the first quarter if they don't give White an opportunity to display that arm a little bit.
Well, that's the hard thing is you don't want to get desperate, right? You want to stick to your game plan. But yet it's also been PG's been really prepared for the game plan. So what kind of response do you have here? 2nd and 10. White looking, has a man. That caught by Coates. Had to kind of double clutch it. Prevented his ability to turn upfield, but a gain there of a couple, and that will do it. First quarter in the books, 12-0. PG leading Farmington. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann Associates and brought to you by Modern Missionary. Start of the second quarter. 3rd and 8 here for the Phoenix. Boy, been familiar territory for Farmington as the offense hasn't been able to find its mojo yet.
Important play here, Dane. Get this Farmington offense going.
Trips to the bottom of the screen here for the Phoenix. White, nice pocket, stepping up. He's going to try to run. Got through the first tackler as Trevor Brady was there. But, White able to take this ahead. Boy, he's a little slow to get up. You certainly hope he's okay. Back to his feet. Good to see. It'll be 4th and short here for Farmington.
Certainly not an injury you want to see if you're a Farmington fan. Pleasant Grove there just rushed 3, dropped the rest back, really covered the field well, not letting White beat them with his arm.
So 4th down here for the Phoenix. They'll have to punt it away. Boy, I mean, I don't know what's been better tonight, the PG offense or the PG defense, Scott. I mean, Farmington just has not been able to get anything. Low snap, handled. Punts away, fair catch, taken at the 43.
Yeah, good job by the punter there to field that and get that off. Yeah, Pleasant Grove just executing on both sides of the ball here. Coach has got to be happy with the way his line is playing, with the maturity his quarterback is displaying, and the way the defense is just able to cover basically all aspects of the field at this point.
We talked with both coaches before the game. Coach Walkenhurst was like, hey, look, like where the program's going, like the culture we're building, but man, it takes time. But, boy, I mean, this looks like a program that is in that third year. You start to see good fundamentals, good execution, and this is what you get when you start sophomores and you start building that foundation. All of a sudden you start building layers to that, levels to that, and you get a really good product. First down, starting there 44 after the punt. Blitz up the middle, and, boy, well-timed
Great
blitz.
penetration.
Blowing that up was Tingy.
Great penetration. Farmington needing some positive momentum, and that'll help him out a lot, Dane.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just about confidence, right?
Couple plays, build that confidence.
Yep. 2nd and 12. Rasmussen stepping up. He's got a lot of room in front. Penalty flag here thrown back in the pocket. I think this one's going to be coming back.
We're going to get a hold there, Dane. Hold in the backfield. Allowing him to spring out and get that gain. You know, Coach Walkenhorst has talked early, before the season started, about one of the keys to his game and what he was preaching to his players was really just to execute your role and not worry about everything else that's going on the field, but really execute the role that you've been asked to execute. And it seems like players are staying home and really doing a good job of playing together, executing their various roles.
Big costly penalty there. It's a spot foul, so this will be back at the 32. Rasmussen dumping this off, and Farmington, good coverage, not a lot of room to work, a gain of 2, maybe just 1.
Not a bad call, thinking Farmington may get a little over-aggressive there pursuing the quarterback, but good discipline on that Farmington line to watch and to kind of sniff that out early and see what was going on. Take care of that play.
I think it was Lucas Peterson there on the tackle for Farmington. Bring up a 3rd and long and a chance for this Farmington defense to get off the field. Students trying to do their part for this Phoenix side. Design keeper Rasmussen won't get out of the pocket. Stood up in the backfield. It was Mason Karchner, the senior, and PG will punt for the first time tonight.
Interesting call there on 3rd down. 3rd and 20. I mean, what play do you pull on your side of the field? Playing with a lead. Just make sure you don't make any major mistakes.
Yep. So PG will have a chance to kick it away.
Okay, Farmington with a little momentum here.
Could be. See if that can spark the offense.
Should end up with pretty good field position here.
Clock ticking down, so's the play clock. I don't know if PG's going to be able to get this off. We're inside of 5 here. Down to 2. And they do not. So, delay a game penalty here.
Not sure what went on there, Dane. They were in that huddle for quite a while.
Yeah, they were slow to get out. I'm not quite certain what that was either, but
they'll reset here.
Yep.
Just kick it 5 yards further. That's that easy.
Yeah, just a little extra power to it. Nice snap, handled, pressure. McCoy able to get it away. Fielded by Metcalf, brought down immediately. Good coverage there for the Vikings.
Left-footed kicker there. Decent kick here to the near sideline. A little bit easier to defend.
You know, one of the interesting things for me about Farmington was how do you involve Jake Metcalf? Number 2 tonight. We've seen him in the backfield. We've seen him run routes. PG's wrapped him up. Scott, is there anything you could do to try to get him some more open space on the field? What would you look to do with number 2?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe have him come out of the backfield on a wheel route to get some misdirection there. The line seems to be doing a good job on Pleasant Grove side of creating some pressure. So
this drive starting at the 40. Rolling out White. That was incomplete through the hands of the intended target, Dominic Coates. Incomplete. I like rolling White out of the pocket there, right? Try to get him away from some of the big men of PG, get his eyes down the field a little bit.
Yeah, good decision there by White, rolling out. Good throw, really. Just didn't work out for him.
2nd and 10. Pistol formation here for Easton White. That's caught by Metcalf. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that one just felt a little slow to develop. The pass was low. Metcalf had to kind of go gather it and allowed that PG defense to recover.
That's right. And recover they did, swarming to get to that ball. Playing with a little bit of confidence here. Really, really getting off that ball quick.
It'll be a 3rd and 10.
Farmington hasn't hit its stride yet.
No.
They're really just a little bit disjointed. Not real crisp yet at this point in time. Let's hope that continues to get better as the game goes on.
Trips again to the bottom of the screen here, inside of 8 minutes to go. Pressure coming from PG. White able to run away from it, looking downfield, no one's open, gonna take it and run. First down and slides across the 50, down to the 43, first down Farmington.
White gonna do it himself, not with his arm, but with his legs. How about that, Dane? Figuring out how to get it done, get some life into that Farmington offense.
Sideline fans here thought there might be a flag on that play. I was kind of surprised there wasn't. He'd given himself up to the slide, but you know, one of the things we didn't see last night was a lot of pass interference calls, that sort of thing. I think in years past it's felt like we've been quick to do flags, and I know we're just week 1, but officials maybe been holding those back a little bit more. First down regardless. Pressure again. Will dump off. Caught. And taken up by Peterson inside the 40 to 33. And here comes Farmington.
That's right. I think they found something here, rolling White out to his throwing side here and letting the Pleasant Grove line over pursue and just dumping it out on those short yardage gains and get some yards. So
when you talk about momentum and rhythm, right? Like when you're in rhythm, everything just starts to fit together.
And I think that's what they're hoping. Get White some of that confidence, get him back into form from last year, and make things happen.
Single coverage at the bottom of the screen with Coates. Little toss here instead to Hoops. And PG. That defense has been quick, and a late flag here thrown in behind the play by our White Hat.
I'm not sure what the call is on this one, Dane. Seemed to take White a little bit of time there to get that ball out, trying to make that decision. Allowed that defense to close in. I thought Hoops did a good job, though, of at least battling to get back to that line of scrimmage.
Holding the call here. It was right near where the run ended at the end of the play.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll back him up. So it'll be first down and 18? 19. First and 19.
Or
nope, 21. 6.5 to go here in the half. Here's White. Still behind the line, not anymore. Slips through the first tackler, takes it up to the 35-yard line. Nice job getting something there.
That's right. Once again, Farmington trying to spread out that field, maybe create some space for receivers to fall into, and if not, White's taking off and finding that space. Made a good move there at the end, too, to pick up a couple extra yards. Watching Coach Coates down here on the sideline getting animated. He wants this drive.
I think he knows how important this drive is. You just get stopped by your defense. Let's go build off of that, get back to one possession game. Motion there by Smith. He's in the flat. That deflected up. Good hands again by this PG defense. I think that was Mytera Brown, the senior, able to deflect it.
PG getting their arms up, filling those gaps. Not a bad play call. Rolling him out once again. Had a lot of pursuit on that line getting into the backfield. Should have been some space out there, but
And I like the play call there. You could have had 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, very manageable. Instead, you're 3rd and 12, and those options become a little more limited here for Farmington. Oh, boy, he's got men right over the middle. Doesn't see him. And it will be brought down for a loss of 1 on the play. 4th down here for Farmington.
You're right. Dante Coates there calling for the ball, screaming for the ball. Just couldn't quite pick him up. That Pleasant Grove line is tall. It is tough to see over the top of that.
Yeah, and Dante Coates, there was not a defender within 8-10 yards of him. But,
unfortunate.
At that point, just didn't see him. And the pressure gets there. You're rolling away from where Coates is. But, boy, that's one that you watch film, you'll be like, oh, we had an opportunity. 4th down and a decision. And Farmington going to go for it here on 4th down. Clock's moving. Play clock was almost expired. White throwing. Boy, that's right at the stick. He might have it. That is awfully close. Going to be at the 24.
That is going to be close.
A yard short.
I don't know, Dane. That defender looked like he got there either right on time or maybe a half a second early there.
I'll tell you that line judge has to go back to the Farmington sideline after this call. They thought he had it, but the PG defense gets the stop, and they turn him over on downs.
I don't think Farmington crowd liked that spot that they got there, Dane, nor did they like, the timing of that hit, but good defense. Good timing, apparently, on that, and PG stands firm. Ben, don't break.
Well, the defense has been impressive tonight. 4:44 to go here in the first half. 12-0 Pleasant Grove. The offense coming back out on the field, looking for more on the road in week 1. Two-by-two formation for the Vikings. Rasmussen, he eats it. How about that pass rush for Farmington?
Wow. That edge just coming straight in on that blitz. Unguarded. Pleasant Grove didn't have anybody to account for those two on the edge coming in. Excellent defensive call.
Rasmussen's been very quick to diagnose and throw. That time, even his quickness couldn't evade the rush. A loss there of 6. Rasmussen will tuck it and run through one tackler, able to gain back the majority of the loss there on the run.
Farmington doing a better job here of closing those gaps up front and making sure that they account for the quarterback.
Inside of 4 to go, 3rd and 12 here for Pleasant Grove. Trips to the top. Rasmussen looking, has a man, but boy, had to go to the turf. It's Tanner Blake with the reception. It'll be 4th and 1. Does PG now roll the dice on 4th and short?
On this side of the field, Dane, with a lead 12-0, I would guess they wouldn't, but we'll see.
They were going to on the previous possession. It was the penalty that backed him up, right?
The way your defense is playing, Dane, I'd probably punt this ball, but
this is like the most aggressive game I've seen in a long time. 4th downs, we're going for it, man.
Yeah.
Moose Bingham now is very, very upset. Of course, Moose, a former kicker, punter.
No kicking.
4th and 1. Oh, and they drew him offside. The hard count of Carson Rasmussen will get credited for the first down.
Got to see that coming. That was a great call by Pleasant Grove there. A lot of excitement. Farmington excited to make a big play there, and Pleasant Grove taking advantage. Great call by the coaching staff. Good hard count by Rasmussen, making a lot of really smart plays here.
With all the 4th and shorts we've seen in this first half, that's the first hard count we've seen tonight. Kind of surprising, right?
Yeah. Well used. Saved.
Yeah.
Saved for that moment.
First down off the penalty. Rasmussen all out quickly, taken out of play there by McCoy, a gain of 8.
Good route, little out route there. Have the outside receiver pull the defense back and give him some space to just run an out. Short yardage gain, build some confidence.
Back to the line of scrimmage, quick snap, but that one didn't have enough oomph behind it as Cottle watched that bounce to him. And you're throwing from sun into shadows on that one.
Yeah, a little bit difficult. Might have had a little bit something tipped it at the line of scrimmage or something there. Didn't look like it come out clean or something. Same thing on the other side here with that out route.
The 3rd and short now for Pleasant Grove. Another chance for Farmington to try to get a stop. They'll go to the ground, trying to stretch it. Good throw. They won't get it. First man there for Farmington was Kailiki Bird.
Carter Chingy really sealing off that edge, making sure that running back didn't get to the outside so the rest of his team would come in and pursue.
Nice loss there on 3rd down. The Farmington defense gets it stopped. The offense will have another shot as we're inside of 2 to go here in the half.
Really great job stretching that out. I think I got the right call there, didn't I? Chingy.
And now this is where you let that clock wind down, right? You can take another 15 seconds off. There's no rush. Each team with just one timeout left here in this first half. Boy, that is a punt. High spiral back, and it's muffed! And it will fortunately go out of play for the Phoenix.
I'll tell you what, that's Mason Smith. He's living right, Dane. Woo! To have that bounce just right to get out of bounds after that. Ooh. And you're right, what a punt. Did you see the hang time on that punt?
Yeah. That was a beauty.
The defense could have fielded that, or the pursuit could have fielded that. Caught that. Great punt. Especially since Farmington had 3 players that were actually pretty close to that punt as it was kicked.
85 seconds left.
Deep.
Easton White on 1st down. Miscommunication there. Was looking for Coates. He was looking to get vertical, and that will.
White was looking for a comeback route, I think.
Yep.
I thought they may have an opportunity there. Pleasant Grove seemed a little disjointed there, running a man late out on the field. But still able to hold.
2nd down. Five wide here for Farmington. Pressure coming. Over the middle. Caught and tackled immediately. And a reception made there by Metcalf.
Pleasant Grove just kind of sitting back, recognizing not much time on the clock, almost a prevent type of a look, really soft.
Yeah, keep everything in front, right?
That's exactly right.
3rd and short. How about creating time? White, eyes down the field. Caught and out of bounds. Boy, what a play. And how about the reception by DeAnda? But it was Easton White extending it.
Yeah, did a great job with his feet there. I thought he was done a couple of times. Yeah, he able to extend the play, and good downfield awareness as well to find that receiver. Pleasant Grove, not a bad job covering.
Yeah. Stops the clock with 51 seconds left. Oh, and PG jumping here. Free 5 yards gifted to the Phoenix.
Every yard helps here.
Good ball outside Pleasant Grove.
It'll be 1st and 5.
Is that Lucas Jackson getting a little excited there? Ready to disrupt.
White setting up, has a man, and that was through the fingertips, incomplete. Camden Stewart couldn't come down with it.
Decent throw, just extended him a little bit out there. And that'll bring up a 2nd down. White looking a little bit more confident on his throws there.
Yeah.
A little bit more behind him.
2nd down. Wyatt looking over the middle, has a man. First down and more. Up near midfield, it's Mason Smith taking it up to the 46.
Pleasant Grove only rushing 3 there. Still getting some pressure on him, but White just stepping up. Good maturity there to make that play happen.
PG going to take their final timeout of the half. Will step aside. Farmington trying to get points here to close out the half. Welcome back. 38 seconds to go. Dane Stewart, Scott Smith. Scott, your thoughts on what we've seen in this first half?
Yeah, a lot of Pleasant Grove in this first half. It's taken Farmington a little bit of time to get going. We have seen, I think, a progression, though, on Farmington. We're starting to see a little bit of momentum, a little bit of confidence. Unfortunately, only 38 seconds left, but I think that'll give a little confidence coming in the second half.
Do you have to dial something up here? I mean, you have one timeout, you've got your boundary, but you still got 54 yards to go. How aggressive are you if you're Farmington here?
Look, you've got one of the best quarterbacks in the state with an arm here, Dane. I think you set something up. Obviously, you got to prevent defense here, but we'll see.
First down. White stepping up. Boy, saw an opening. Now trying to get out of bounds, and he won't. Boy, good coverage there by McCoy, and that will force Coach Coates to take his last time out.
I think, Dane, they were looking. White really wanted something. Pleasant Grove just did a really good job downfield, making sure that they had every receiver accounted for.
You know how important tackling is? It's on that play right there. Because if you're McCoy and you don't make that stop, you're out of bounds and you still have that timeout in your pocket. Instead, that stop forced them to take their last one. And now, I mean, you still have the boundary and whatnot, but you'd like to hold on to that as long as you can. You just force Farmington to use their last.
Yeah, really important play there. Pleasant Grove, once again, every time that defense has been asked to step up, they've done it so far this game.
They have. They've made some nice stops. Want to remind you, KSLSports.com is your home for the best high school sports coverage in the state of Utah. Every week, check out KSLSports.com. We'll have top plays. We'll have our weekly recaps. And, of course, live game streams. Dusty Litzer in studio with our Red Zone coverage. No one does it better. Check out KSLSports.com throughout the week for coverage of your favorite teams, players, and schools. Only on KSLSports.com. Second down here for Farmington. As the sun's starting to set here. Second down from the 49. White. He's going to take this and run again and going to be brought down after picking up 5. Got to hurry back to the line of scrimmage. 20 to go.
Trevor Braby with the stop. Boy, when you can get pressure with 3 up front, you can do a lot in that secondary and the linebackers.
Clock down to 10. Bunch to the bottom again. This might be the last play of the half. Over the middle, caught. And the clock will stop with 1 second. Nope, it has expired. That will do it. The first half comes to a close, but Easton White slow to get up once again. He was hit after the throw. He's going to have a few moments to try to shake that off as we have hit the break. 12-0. Farmington trailing in their home opener to Pleasant Grove. I think both teams still kind of hanging out here.
We'll see what the call here is.
Looks like they might put time back on the clock. I thought there was 2 seconds. Now you've got to spike it. Yeah, they're going to put 2 on the clock. So what you'll do is you could run the play here.
I think you've had enough time here to call a play, Dana.
Yeah,
that's what
right,
you do.
Right.
Tell your center to hike it on the whistle and move forward.
So never mind. Easton White had seconds to try to shake that off. We've got a shot here to take a shot to the end zone. 38 yards away.
The line of scrimmage play really going Pleasant Grove's way here, Dane.
Yeah.
Farmington struggling to protect White.
They got to get the chains moved.
Reset the down there, first down. Not that matters at this point.
Final play of the half from the 38. Oh, and movement up front will move them 5 yards closer. Farmington will take that.
Absolutely, every yard that they can get. Pleasant Grove just excited to blow this play up. And all right, here, 33 yards. What do you call? Well, probably about one play you can call.
Yeah, I don't think you're calling a screen here, right?
Pleasant Grove just sitting back.
Yeah, umbrella coverage. Why not, right?
Coach Coates upset about something. Really wants to understand what's going on here.
And officials still conversing here.
White was pretty slow to get up on that last one. He's taking a lot of hits tonight.
He has. And, at the start, it was hits in the backfield. Lately, it's been on the run. Regardless, hits are hits. And they're adding up here early on.
They're trying to get him. He's trying to look downfield, throw downfield. He's had a couple here lately where he's in his throwing motion, and that just hurts.
Yeah.
Open yourself up and take those hard hits a little different than on the run. You can see him walking around a little bit gingerly.
I think the discussion here is what to do with the clock. I think they're going to say you run it off of a defensive penalty, which means you would have to spike it, and then you would have your final opportunity, and that does indeed look to be the case of what we're going to do here. Oh, never mind. 0 for 3. Yeah, why not? It's like my field goal percentage in basketball.
Got Lucas Peterson in the backfield there with him.
Final play of the half. 2 seconds to go. Easton White from the shotgun. Trying to create some time. White. And that one jarred loose. This is deemed a live football. Pleasant Grove on it. Farmington will wrap it up, take it down, and that'll do it. We've hit the break. It's 12-0. Pleasant Grove with the lead over Farmington. You're watching Week 1 on KSLSports.com. Our game of the week presented to you by Heidemann Associates and Modern Missionary. And welcome back here at Farmington High School. KSL Sports Rewind's game of the week. Dane Stewart, Scott Smith with you. 12-0, the advantage to the visiting Pleasant Grove Vikings. Scott, Farmington, a lot of expectations for this Farmington group. Easton White, been a tough first half. What do you look for them to do in half number 2 to get some rhythm, some confidence going?
Yeah, not a lot going on at the line of scrimmage right for them at this point in time on offense. Also, White, even when they have some success rolling him out of that pocket, not a lot downfield. I'd like to see a little bit, maybe bringing the running back out of the backfield, maybe getting him out in the flat there, maybe some shorter routes, some dig routes coming into the middle there. It seems like the short stuff's not really working. They're not able to get a lot of long stuff, and maybe just start to build that 3 to 4 yard gain on offense, build some momentum. They've had a couple times where they built a little bit of momentum. See if we can build on that.
PG's been so stout. Defensively, they've been impressive. Offensively, Carson Rasmussen, first start as a Viking on the football team, has played really well, but it's been the units. I mean, they've just been stronger together, the Vikings offensively and defensively.
That's right. As Coach Walkenhorst said earlier, before the season even started, he mentioned role players just need to play their role, and they seem to be listening, Dane. Players just staying home, executing their particular part of that plan, and just as a unit, they seem pretty cohesive.
You see a bunch of Weber State football players in the house here tonight. They're out supporting a member of the family, Afu Fiafia, a junior for Farmington, suited up tonight, playing football for the first time, a young man that has battled cancer, but he's on the field, and it's awesome to see. His dad is a coach at Weber State. It's awesome to see the family that football brings, and to see a college program come out in support of a member of the coach's family. Love it. Love to see it. Great showing tonight by the Wildcats.
Dane, that's special. It's one of the great things about football, coming together and really supporting one another, both in diversity on the field and off the field. You like to see that.
We'll start the second half. Farmington will kick this away. This will be the first time we will have a chance to see this PG kickoff return unit.
That's right. This is the first time we'll get to see them.
Yeah. Back to receive will be Riker.
So, Dane.
Yeah.
Got a question for you.
Yeah.
1 year ago, these two teams played. What was the halftime score, do you suppose?
12-0?
12-0. Farmington. Guess what the end of the first quarter score was? 12-0. We have a repeat. Just flip the script a little bit here.
Hey, look at that. That's called preparation.
I did do a little bit.
Just like any good accountant would.
I'm tapped out now. Let's talk about the game.
Back to receive will be Riker Mickelson and Sean Cottle. This fielded by Cottle. No, excuse me, that's Cale McCoy. Oh, McCoy turning upfield. Nice return from Cale up to the 34.
Really good pickup by Pleasant Grove there on the blocks, creating a little bit of a hole there. So,
what did you like about what PG did offensively in the first half?
I really liked the way at the beginning they executed a game plan. They kept changing that formation. That quick up-tempo offense really kept Farmington on their heels. I'd like to see them come back and start the second half that same way.
They'll start in the shotgun here. Rasmussen has Franson to his right. Rasmussen looking to throw. Boy, that route has been open all day, Scott.
That has, and they're executing it so well. Rasmussen right on point with that throw. Good chemistry there. Early on in the season, good chemistry there.
Kai Peterson listed at 6'3", 197. That is a good-sized target on the outside, and they've featured him multiple times tonight.
Same set.
2nd and 1. Nice settle there. Cottle turning back to the middle, has it up to midfield. First down, Vikings.
Yeah, spreading it all over the field here. He seems to have quite a bit of open receivers out there, and he's just settling in, taking those short routages, building a lot of confidence here, is Rasmussen.
You know, we talk about a first-year player for the PG football program. He actually transferred in the school year last year, came to the basketball program. Coach McAllister was like, I didn't know who he was, but he ended up getting time on the floor by the time the basketball season was done, and now he's starting quarterback, and he looks awfully comfortable as he'll hand off to Franson on first down for a gain of 5.
What an athlete. And that's what it'll do for you. Get some of those throws, build some confidence, and suddenly the middle of the field opens up.
Well, you see the camaraderie, right, and just the trust there. Now, they haven't been in a game together, but obviously practice and hanging out at school and lunch and wait and all that stuff. You've seen some of those dividends here tonight.
For sure. I like this look, Dave.
Yeah, me too. Back to the eye. They'll hand off. Franson bottled up.
Going nowhere. Farmington denied.
Nice burst by Lilo Jones, the senior, able to come up with a stop for the loss.
We've called his name a couple times tonight. He seems to be stepping up. Let's see if he can rally his team to do the same.
Bring him a 3rd and 6 here for Pleasant Grove. They're still trying to get personnel. Rasmussen. Oh, right through the hands of Cottle. Had him. Well, that one couldn't be hauled in, and now a 4th down for Pleasant Grove, and they'll look to punt.
Once again, Rasmussen had a couple of different targets there he could have thrown at. Farmington, fortunate there, a dropped pass. Seemed to be a little confusion in the secondary there. Quite a bit of open space on a couple receivers.
But hey, a stop's a stop at this point if you're Farmington. They get the first stop on the opening drive of the second half. Punts away. I tell you what, man, Moose is going to love this kid. Moose Bingham, I know you're watching somewhere. We got a punter here at Pleasant Grove. We're going to stay here because there was something we were going to talk about, and just as I make that decision,
there it goes. There it goes. Just gone.
You know,
that plays out the same way it worked for us.
It sure does. Yeah, don't get old, folks. It's overrated. Hey, Farmington will come out. Drive will start at their own 20. Here it is. This is what it was. I want to thank the Phoenix Club tonight. Hooked us up with drinks. Hooked us up with halftime meal. Thanks to the Farmington Boosters.
Absolutely.
Great host T-shirts. Feel like a member of the family here at Farmington. Want to thank them for their hospitality. Coach Casey Walkenhurst and everyone making sure we're all set up. Been great hosts as on this first down play. Hoops with the carry. Back to the line of scrimmage, nothing else.
Yeah, trying to assert a little bit of room here. But Pleasant Grove, that stout front line, really moving along the line well, covering that end. Minding those gaps. So
I mean, I don't know what the net yards rushing is tonight for Farmington, but it might not be positive. It's just been bottled up.
Yeah.
Second down. Quick throw, man open, caught. Good gain there for Farmington as DeAnda. He's been the best receiving target tonight for the Phoenix.
That's right. See, doing what we talked about earlier, maybe making those shorter passes in the middle, exploiting, taking the 5 yards that they're going to give you, 5 or 6 yards.
One of the things we saw from PG was ball in the quarterback's hands, read, throw. Quick decisions. You wonder if we maybe see Farmington try to get through the offense a little bit quicker on some of those reads here in the second half.
Great point, Dane.
3rd and 3. PG showing some pressure. They're going to bring it. Hoops on the ground. Through the line, a gain of 1. It'll be 4th and short here for Farmington, and they have not been shy from going for it in this situation.
Yeah, that little bit of momentum showing a little bit of life. Let's see if they look to build on that. Deep in their own territory, this would be dangerous. Pleasant Grove a couple of times seems to be knowing what the play is coming, running the exact right defense on that last play. Bringing those linebackers up.
4th and 1 for Farmington. They're going to go for it again inside their own 30 from the shotgun. To the ground, no hole, bottled up. They'll turn it over on downs again. The PG defense, what a night it's been.
Great job by that Pleasant Grove defense, but Dane, they're doing what they've been doing all night long. Interesting call to run that ball there. Just interesting. That play hasn't been there tonight. So, but look, kudos, props to Pleasant Grove. Standing firm, standing stiff, not getting out of their game plan, and controlling that line of scrimmage.
So a short field here for the Vikings. This is how the first half started, right? And it was nearly from the same spot. It was the 29 is where PG's first drive started from the 28. Rasmussen, little pump fake, he'll take off. First down and more for Carson as he's hit at the 17.
Near repeat, he is down. Took a big hit there at the end. Coming up from the secondary to make a pop. Trying to make him think about doing that. You know, Pleasant Grove's doing a great job of spreading the field out and pulling people downfield and just creating a big pocket there, and their line's making some holes.
I was going to say, you hear about, the game is won in the trenches. I mean, tonight the trench has been decided by PG on both sides. This flailed out into the flat. Here comes McCoy upfield. Is he in?
He is, but they're going to call that back, Dane. We had a wide receiver block grabbing the jersey and pulling him down.
At the 15 is where that flag is.
Holding Pleasant Grove.
He was sprung on that block that had a handful of jersey in it. If you call that a block. I like the play call, though.
Yeah. Good
play call. It was going to get some positive yardage anyway.
So they'll bring this back.
But Farmington avoiding disaster there. And they'll take it any way that they can right now to.
Now, one of the things we want to make you aware of, there's a rule change this year on penalty enforcement, and I don't have my Duolingo certification, so I'm still trying to figure out what it is, but it's no longer the same enforcement as it was. After the yard's taken away here, it's going to be from the 25 and be 1st and 18. Rasmussen over the middle on the slant. It's caught. First down and more inside the 5. Absorbing tacklers to the 2. It's Mackay Peterson, 1st and goal.
Yeah, Pleasant Grove really recognizing that zone. Just doing a great job of finding where the holes in that defense are and just sitting there.
1st and goal for PG. Spread them out. Rasmussen. Pressure, gets rid of it. Oh, that hit the turf. Boy, A for effort there for Bronco Winterton. He was looking for a second touchdown of the night, but that's incomplete.
Yeah, we haven't called his name a whole lot tonight. Kind of an exciting player. Rasmussen, impressive with all that pressure of him to get that ball out. I figured he was just going to try and get that ball away, but that was nearly a touchdown.
Yeah.
Good job by Farmington to bring the pressure, disrupt that play. Whatever they called there to get that pressure, dial that one up again.
Second down. They've ran out of the I formation in this situation before. They'll line up in it again here. Last time I kind of thought they might run play action. Don't fall asleep on the potential bootleg. They'll hand it off, and they'll run it in. Touchdown, Pleasant Grove, as it's Aiden Franson with the touchdown run, his second of the night.
Yeah, you saw that play develop, and that line just opened that hole, and him just hitting that hole, hitting it hard, and that momentum carrying him over the line, over the goal line.
Look, Scott, you like repetition. You know how much time was on the clock when they scored in the first quarter on a 29-yard drive?
You don't know this. You don't know this. Don't even.
It was 6:42.
Oh.
There's 6:38 on this clock on a drive that started at 28.
Is it just me, or is this game the second half playing out a lot like the first half?
It's eerily similar. Yeah.
This game similar to last year.
I formation for the 2-point conversion.
Little trickery.
Incomplete.
Get excited there, Dane.
I was just kind of waiting for them to do something else out of that formation. There it was, but it's all for naught. We do have a lineman down here for Pleasant Grove, not what you want to see on opening night. The 2-point try, no good. 18-0. The advantage for Pleasant Grove will step aside. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann and Associates. Welcome back. Lucas Jackson was the injured Pleasant Grove Viking, was able to walk off unassisted. Good to see. As Pleasant Grove here to kick it off, we'll go back to Parker Hall for this kick. 6:38 to go here in our third. Angled, good kick from Hall, fielded at the 1. Opportunity for a return up the right side. A flag coming in from the near sideline. Judge still on his feet. Nice return there from Keenan Ua, as we will sort out the laundry. Have to do that every Saturday. Now we got to do it on Friday nights.
Had to do with blocking on the near side here. Really far away from the play, Dane, unfortunately, is going to push Farmington back again. You know, good to see Lucas Jackson walking off the field. He's been a disruptor on the line on both offense and defense. Pleasant Grove probably really happy to see him.
Targeting was the call there.
Interesting.
So that's going to back up. You mentioned it. Farmington being backed up here. And it's been one of those nights for the Phoenix. I mean, it's talking about having to replace guys, Austin Reinhold, others, new faces, and then you've had penalties and things. It just hasn't come together.
A couple good returns on kickoff, just getting called back, having to start in a hole again.
So this drive starting at the 15 after the penalty, bunch formation here on both sides. White looking to throw, caught, brought down immediately. There's Bronco wrangling him up for a short gain.
There's Bronco Winterton making his presence known out on the field. I like, though, that the Farmington's dialing up some quick plays, get some confidence here into their quarterback. See if we can't get him rolling.
Approaching the midway point here of this third quarter. A little sweep, hoops, trying to get outside. There is no room to work. Look at that flow. Almost like a hockey player. PG able to wrap it up for no gain. Loss, actually.
Boy, that's difficult. When you've got linemen like big old number 58 there, Thatcher Kuhn, that can move like that and follow the running back along the line, well, that's tough to run against. Kudos to the movement there.
And here's the thing. I mean, he's 6'3". We talked about Lucas Jackson. He's 6'4". When you look at a kid up front like Bazant, 6'6". It's a big group up front for PG. We said it from the kickoff.
That's moving really swiftly, Dane.
Yeah.
So
3rd and 10 here for Farmington. Pressure from the edge coming. White stepping up. They've got a spy. White evades it. Brought down at the 20-yard line, a gain of 5. It'll be 4th down, and Farmington will punt.
Not going to roll the dice on this one.
No.
Yeah, White actually had a little bit more time there. I thought his line protected him a little better on that play. Just couldn't find the receivers downfield. Pleasant Grove doing a great job in that secondary.
And remember, there were a couple times in that first half where White was a little slow to get up. Even there, walking, didn't appear to have a limp, but just seemed a little slow coming off. He's gotten hit, has taken a lot of contact tonight. This punt away, angled, fair catch, taken at midfield. Out will come the Vikings, 18-0, the lead for PG.
And here we go again, that Farmington defense backed up to start this drive, short field.
It's interesting. I know it's opening night. We saw Lone Peak last night, this revisioned Region 3. Lehigh moves up, Corner Canyon out. It'd be interesting to see how PG fares in that region. A lot of time left as this throw incomplete. Good hit being laid there by Brody Rolfson coming up there in coverage. But this is not the PG of yore. Vikings could make some noise in that region.
Definitely I think they could. Farmington's a good team. And Pleasant Grove tonight, big lines, seem to be executing really well, showing some maturity here on offense. I am excited to see them in Region 3.
Second down, Rasmussen, edge again, getting around it, and it's intercepted! Picked off by Farmington. Maybe that is the ignition this offense needed. Austin Wilcox with the interception.
Austin Wilcox trying to breathe some life, some excitement into this team. Maybe you're right, Dane. Maybe that is what they need. I was about to praise, Rasmussen back there, moving with his feet, stepping out of tackles, creating some space. Throwing looked like a pretty good throw on the run. Just Austin Wilcox disrupting that.
Read extremely well by Wilcox and a great play. And is this the best starting field position for Farmington tonight?
It may well very well be, Dane.
At their own 45. White looking, trying for the deep shot. Incomplete.
And the flag comes in.
James Clark was there in coverage. They were trying to find Dominic Coates.
Coates reaching back. The ball was thrown a little bit behind. Coming back to that ball, and the defense never turned back and looked and just ran right over him. So,
yeah, I love the call there, right? We really haven't seen Farmington stretch it because they haven't had time. Hey, tell you what, quick throw, try to beat the single coverage, and worst thing, get a penalty, tack yardage.
Yeah, let's start to make things happen. Get our quarterback, throwing down the field like he did more last year. Maybe get him comfortable and
yeah, there was confusion there. Not a spot penalty. It's
they're moving the ball back just a little bit. Sorry about that.
From the previous line of scrimmage, so they'll be into PG territory at the 40-yard line.
Maybe get this offense leaning forward a bit. Here we go.
Blitz. White throws to Coates, gain of 5.
And there we go. Start making some throws, hitting some receivers, moving the ball.
And I like trying to attack that underneath route, right? Again, because it's about a quick throw, getting the ball out quickly, and it's a low risk type of play, right? You're not throwing into a lot of coverage. You can throw that to the boundary, lead your receiver, safe play.
Pleasant Grove seems content to play off just a little bit and give them those short underneath routes at this point in the game. Avoid a disaster.
Over the middle. Oh, that's nice coverage by Clark. Picked up the PI earlier, but that was well played that time.
Yeah, but I like the play call. Little slant there into the middle. Short yardage play again. Still about made the play.
Yeah. Yeah, 3rd and 6 for Farmington.
3rd and manageable.
Yeah.
For Farmington.
4 minutes to go here in the quarter. White, pressure over the middle, has a man. First down for Coates as he takes it inside the 25 to the 24-yard line.
The other Coates this time. Coates brothers finding some openings there. Coach slow to get up.
Yeah, this is Dante. He's down. You saw them look over and ask for assistance. This is a tough one for Farmington. We'll come out, take a look. We're going to step aside, go to break. Farmington trying to get an answer here in the third. Dante Coates able to walk off. Good to see.
Good to see. He was stuck there a little bit. Maybe got the wind knocked out of him. But Farmington attacking that middle of the field, short yardage stuff. It's working.
Yeah. First down. Double linebacker blitz. Going for the end zone. Incomplete. Trying to get it to Charlie DeAnda. Once again in coverage was James Clark.
Farmington fan base wanted a flag there. Good defense. Could have gone either way. A little bit underthrown. But close play there. Good call. I like the call.
Yeah.
For a moment there, it looked like that one was open. So that's okay. Being aggressive here, Farmington.
Yeah.
And seeing some life.
You know, I often say about offense, it's about levels. We didn't see them get to a third level in the first half. They've tried it multiple times here in the second half. Over the middle. Ooh, boy, dangerous throw as that's broken up. It was Bronco Winterton coming up to defend it.
Bronco Winterton. Suddenly we're calling his name.
It's the only time I'll feel good with the word Bronco coming out of my mouth.
Oh, dang, you're killing me here. You're hurting me here. Just jealous of the name, right?
Well, I grew up in Idaho, so just to clarify the context of that
I
statement,
see.
there you go. 3rd and 10 here for Farmington. Over the middle, deflected. Oh boy, I'll tell you what, that one had touchdown written all over it to Jake Metcalf. But what a play from Riker Mickelson to get the deflection.
Yeah, laying out there to get his big paw on that. If he didn't get his paw on that, I think that's a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know, Farmington they're just so close. They're right on the edge of breaking through.
So the Phoenix now will come out for the 41-yard field goal try. Looking for their first points of the season. Drew Romney, and it's blocked. The field goal is blocked, and the PG defense continues to pitch the shutout.
Yeah, that PG line, Dane, just getting penetration all game long. No difference there. High snap really caused a delay there getting the ball down, and Pleasant Grove capitalized on that. Really came in. Kicker never had a chance. So here we go. Difference here is Pleasant Grove will start deep in its own territory for a change.
You talk about rhythm and confidence, and just when things are going well, one of those plays that haven't been able to see it consistently, right? And it's week one; those things happen, but
you're seeing a progression from Farmington here.
Yeah,
you're seeing a progression, and I think coaching staff can build on that.
PG will start at their 27. They'll hand this off up the middle on the run. Nice run. Gain of 7 there for Matt Morris.
Matt Morris hitting the hole hard there, running hard, keeping those feet churning, and he's a big boy too. Tough when that Farmington line is facing so many big players coming at him.
Yeah. Second down. Nice lane there for Morris. They go right back to him. He's got a first down and a gain of 7 on the play.
Yeah, if the running game is working and you've got this lead, I think we'll see more of this, Dane.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2.5 to go. 3 possession. Hey, we're going to salt this game away. We can be very conservative, and especially with the size of the line, almost plays your advantage at this point.
Yeah, that line just asserting its will, and definitely a size advantage here, and those running backs just seem to be playing downhill right now.
Back to Franson for the first down run. Picking up 3.
Yeah, seemed to be bottled up at the line of scrimmage, but you can see that line of scrimmage was 3 yards deep. So good push from that front line there. So kudos to Farmington. really kind of standing a little bit more firm there. But
and now we've got a timeout here for an injury. We'll step aside. 1:46 to go. Welcome back. Quick throw. Couldn't haul it in. Was looking for Tanner Blake.
Got a flag on the near side here.
Maybe a sideline warning.
Sideline warning, or maybe a starting
offsides.
offsides.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Bam! That's what we call.
That's Dane coming back.
You know what we call that?
Boosting your stats.
Only down by 3 now. making a comeback here. All right, we're feeling good. 1:33 to go. Sideline warning. No yardage marked off there.
Here we go. Farmington needing a stop here. Pleasant Grove spreading the field.
Got to get across the 50. Rasmussen holding it. Turning upfield. Boy, man, he plays a lot bigger than he is. I mean, he could see Cooper Willoughby coming up at him and wasn't afraid to take on the big sophomore and push the pile, but he is a yard short.
Rasmussen really wanting to come down on a little out route here. The defensive back showed that he was playing soft and then came up hard, really took that route away that Rasmussen wanted to throw, ended up having to run.
Gabe McCoy on to punt this away. Oh, high snap. McCoy, how about the hands of the punter? And then gets away a beauty. And it's going to take a PG bounce inside the 5. Somewhere, Moose Bingham is having a lot of exclamation over the night we've seen from Gabe McCoy. How about that play from the punter?
What a save there for Pleasant Grove. Could have been disaster. That's what Farmington maybe was looking for. Single-handedly kept control of that possession and the game really at this point. So
Moose is going to be so disappointed. He's my partner often, former kicker, kicking coach. He's going to be really disappointed he missed this performance tonight. Moose, that's what you get, man. It's what you get.
Yeah. Sorry, Moose, but actually I'm not sorry. I'm happy to be here.
I know, right? Hey, happy to have you here with us. Of course, Scott making his broadcasting debut tonight.
That's right. That's
bringing in a national viewership to KSL Sports Rewind. Phenomenal.
There you go.
And Farmington is going to start inside the 5, but whistles here. We've got a timeout, I believe. Yes, that's the case. Timeout taken here by Pleasant Grove. We'll step aside, take it with them. We'll be back after this. 41 seconds to go. 18-0 Pleasant Grove. Want to remind you, check us out on KSLSports.com. Each week we'll do recap videos, catch up on all the happenings from your favorite high schools on Friday night on KSLSports.com. Hit us up on social media, Twitter, or the X, whatever it's called now, I don't even know. Instagram, whatever your social media profile is, send us your highlights, performances, get them to us and we'll talk about them. High school sports like no one else, only on KSLSports.com.
Farmington, if they're going to make some noise, they're going to have to do it the hard way on this drive, Dane.
Yeah. This is not desirable field position. Their own 4. Quick throw, looking deep, and that incomplete. Farmington was looking for help there. No call. Intended target was Charlie Deanda. It was Gabe McCoy, punter / corner there in coverage.
Coming back for that ball. Farmington thought there was some holding there, holding the receiver coming back, but officials didn't think so.
They've let him play tonight.
Right?
I mean, we've seen a couple of those where it's like, oh, you probably
though.
could, but haven't.
Pretty consistent calls.
Yeah.
Letting them play. I like the call there. Let's start to try and open that field up.
Second down. Quick throw again. Nice catch. And that up to the 18-yard line on the reception was Travis Hoops.
Hoops, really good hands there. Getting extended and back down. Moving the chains.
That was a rocket from White.
That was.
Yeah. I'd have the gloves tied down for that one. just like a good cowboy would, right?
There you go.
First down.
Cowboy reference in.
Last play here of the third quarter. Caught by Coates. Going to be a gain of about 8.
Coates on a little comeback route. Really taking more of those, 5, 6, 7, 8-yard throws right now. Having some success there.
Through 3, 18-0, the lead for the Pleasant Grove Vikings. Fourth quarter coming up here from Farmington High School after this. Clear eyes, full hearts in the state of Utah. Friday night lights are back. So good to be back. Of course, high school action taking place all along the Wasatch Front throughout the state. Senator highlights from Friday Night Light action. KSL Sports Rewind's coverage, and so great to be back out. Sports are back, football's back, great time of year as we start our fourth quarter. The Farmington students trying to cheer on their group. Easton White looking for the home run, and it's knocked away by Gabe McCoy, who is step for step there with Deanna down the field.
White really winding up now, throwing the ball all over the field. Last couple of throws, extra velocity on those throws. It seems like he's got a little bit more pop going on there. Unfortunately, that one didn't quite work out, but good call. I think on a second and short, I like that call.
I'll tell you what, Gabe McCoy, a couple nice punts tonight. They're attacking him here down the field. He stood up to the task. Third and short here. Over the middle, caught, first down. Coates with the reception, and it'll move the chains.
Really good idea there. Exploit the middle of the field, take what's there.
Well, and I like, if you're in man coverage, let's get the angle on you. Accurate throw, pick up
Seal
the
off
yardage
the
you
defender
need,
and give
you're
the
done.
quarterback a window. I like that.
Yeah. First down. They'll go to Metcalf, turning upfield. Jake through tacklers on the outside. Metcalf in the open field. Across the 50, and Metcalf taken down at the 30. Biggest play of the night for the new addition, Jake Metcalf.
Metcalf breaking tackles. I thought Pleasant Grove had him stopped. Metcalf just kept on his feet, kept those feet churning, had a blocker ahead of him, and making things happen. Some excitement on the Farmington sideline here, Dane.
A little bit of life here for Farmington. See if they can finish this drive off. Got to get the chain crew in place. There we go. First down. Here's White. Going outside. Nice little move there. Tightrope. No, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. Stewart with the reception. They'll give him a gain there of 7.
Yeah, what you're seeing here, Dane, is the line of scrimmage. That Farmington line is really stepping up, giving some time there to White to be able to find his man and hit him on that route. A little surprising there, the way they stood up and gave him protection, good protection.
Second and short. Bunch to the top of the screen. Now they'll motion Metcalf. Toss. Oh, lineman down the field. Good blocking. Setting up a lane there for Lucas Peterson to take advantage. First down, Farmington.
Once again, just a little bit more pop off that line. Those linemen exploding with a little bit more passion than they have earlier in the game there. I think they found some life here.
Yeah. I don't know what Coach Coates said at halftime, but this squad is fired up. It's a movie reference. You know it?
I'm sorry, Dane.
That's all right. We'll get you there. We'll get you there. First down, Farmington. White. That ball's out quickly. Thrown to Coates and brought down. Good tackle. No, excuse me. That was not Coates. Yeah, that was Smith on the reception and Mickelson with the tackle.
Mickelson with the tackle. Way to hold on there. I thought he was going to break that. If he gets out of that one, that's a big play. One of the things you notice here, you're starting to see a little bit more opportunity for protection. That line giving a little bit more protection. You look at the two sidelines. A lot more players on the Farmington sideline than the Pleasant Grove. Maybe some tiredness going on there.
Here's White looking end zone. Just overthrown. incomplete. It was one of the things when we were talking before the game with Coach Walkenhurst. He said, look, we're a 6A school, but our participation is 5A. He's like, we only have 65 kids. You go to Farmington, you go to other teams in Region 3, the programs have more numbers. He's like, we're still building that here. But to your point, I mean, that wears you down over the course of a game.
Yeah, you got a lot of players playing both sides of the ball here for Pleasant Grove. Not quite as many to substitute in and out. And, you get toward the end of the game, especially the first game of the season.
Well, and especially when you run tempo on offense, right? You've exerted a lot of energy. 3rd and 9 here. Over the middle. Oh! Incomplete. Looking for Metcalf. In fairness to PG, I gave Scott the same warning pregame. He was jumping around, bouncing around. I was like, Scott, you got to save something for the game, man.
Yeah, I'm about ready for a nap at this point in time. But no, Dave, that's exciting.
Well, I like the route by Metcalf. That throw just a little behind him.
Oh, man, he had him
to bring
too.
in. Yeah, he did.
He had it. I'm sure he wants that. White wants that throw back.
4th down for Farmington at the 10. They can pick up a first without scoring a touchdown. And we had motion. It will back up Farmington. Motion.
Here we go again, Dane.
We had movement.
Here we go again, Dane. Big play and mental mistakes.
Yeah. So the procedure penalty will back up the Phoenix to the 14. Still 4th down. Boy, it's interesting, Scott, because they try the field goal. If you go for the play there, I mean, this could be a chance to get back to one possession. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, what could have been, right? They still can get a first down at the 1 here.
Yeah. 4th down. White. Looking. Oh, and he's tripped up. The PG defense making the stop again. This time it's Hewitt McBride coming up with the sack.
Stepping up from the backfield. White thought maybe he had stepped out of that, but just getting the shoelaces is McBride. Great play.
Close once again, right? It's right there, and there's just little things.
Yeah, they're gonna watch the game film and think about those little things that, 2 or 3 things. If they had just gone the other way, this would be a different story, different ball game, Dane.
Yeah. Yep.
But here we are, Pleasant Grove with the ball in an 18-point lead with 9:42 to go. Feeling pretty good.
Vikings aren't going to apologize. They'll take advantage of it.
There you go.
Offense back out here on the field. First down, they'll go on the ground. Franson. Nice job by that Farmington run defense. Had a hat right in the hole, and not conceding anything is a hard-earned 2 yards there on the run.
Yeah, Farmington kind of stacking the box there, expecting probably something to milk that clock down. We'll see what Pleasant Grove does here.
Rasmussen looking out. Was just overthrown. Intended target was Cale McCoy. Bring up a 3rd and 8.
Interesting play there, throwing at a far side of the field. Long throw for that potential 10-yard gain and clock stoppage. We'll bring up 3rd and long. Not sure you want to do anything here to risk on that short side of the field a disaster or a mistake here.
We'll go 5 wide once again. Rasmussen, that deflected at the line. Boy, how about the response by this Farmington defense on that series?
Yeah, Farmington stepping up, making things happen on defense, getting their mitts up there, and lucky that they did. Rasmussen had Mackay Peterson wide open in the middle of the field there. Farmington able to knock that pass down. Bring up an opportunity here to get that ball back, and still 9 minutes to go in the game, Dane. Who knows? Who knows? You got a quarterback that can throw the ball.
Yep. Gabe, my goodness, man. My goodness, look at that kick. down to the 30. Gabe McCoy, that ball's lost in the Friday night sky. What a punt.
I'd like to thank Moose Bingham again for this opportunity to be here tonight.
I'll tell you what.
That was a kick. I don't know. That's, field position's so important to give, especially in the first game of the year here, to give your defense just that much more breathing room, that much more confidence. I'd say kicker having an impact on the game here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Kind of fun to watch. We'll have to watch him throughout the year, especially kicking with that left foot. Fun to watch as well. Don't see that every day.
So Farmington will start back at their own 30. The offense has found some success. They just don't have a lot to show for it on the scoreboard. Quick out. Oh, almost had the deflection reception.
Interesting choice of defense there. They're putting a lot in the box, leaving all those receivers one-on-one. Had a receiver open up on the other side of the field there. But White choosing the near side, just out of the hands there. Interesting, I think, giving White an opportunity here. Got a lot of one-on-one matchups.
They'll go to the ground. Not a lot there, PG. Been stout against the run all night. I mean, the one run by Metcalf's really been the only weakness in this run defense.
That's right. Pleasant Grove stepping up once again. They even dropped some men back on that one. Still that line able to move and contain. Be fun defensive line to watch throughout the year.
Yeah.
They seem to be having their way here tonight.
Third down. White doing everything he can. He'll pick up just a yard.
Yeah, White's been under duress quite a bit tonight. Unfortunately, he had a couple receivers there making cuts that if he had had time to throw into, may have been able to make something happen. But here we are once again punting. Pleasant Grove should have some pretty decent field position here.
And Farmington going to have to take the timeout here, personnel. Lake into the field. Timeout Farmington. 8:03 to go here in the fourth. Welcome back. 4th and 8. Farmington to punt it away.
You know, a little bit of an issue there getting personnel on the field, but I got to admit, Dane, first game of the season, you expect some of that. It hasn't been egregious tonight. They've had a couple of issues here and there, but I haven't thought it's been too bad.
Punts away. Fair catch taken at the 30. Talked about realignment. Of course, 6A down to 3 regions. 5A at 4, 4A at 4. Kind of flowing some teams down. There's a lot of interesting storylines, but really 5A, the top continues to be the top. I think relatively unaffected. You'll see competition in 5A and 4A, and should make for really good seasons in those lower classifications. I think better competition in those other classifications. We'll see as the year goes on.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see some of those different matchups and spread out that competition a little bit.
Of course, Corner Canyon, Skyridge still your favorites in 6A. I mentioned Farmington got to the semifinal Rice-Eccles last year. And is there a team out of Region 2 or out of Region 1 that could do that here this year? I know there's expectations with Syracuse, Farmington. People think Davis has a great opportunity. There's always Weber up here as well. A lot of good competition in Region 1. And we'll see if a Region 1 team can put it together come playoff time. So That's weeks away. We'll take you all the way through it right here on KSLSports.com as Rasmussen looking to the sideline. That was just overthrown. Intended target was Sean Cobb.
Rasmussen with some good time there to throw that line. Kind of fun to watch, just really holding stout.
Bring him a 3rd and long here for Pleasant Grove. And starting to pick up here a little bit at Farmington. Left to right on your screen. How about that touch? Right over the linebacker and across midfield on the reception. Cale McCoy taking it to the Farmington 48.
It's hard to believe that this is Rasmussen's first game throwing with Pleasant Grove, with the maturity that he's showing, the touch on that throw, and just it seems to be he just has that connection with the receivers already, making some good throws and really making things able to happen.
First down. Rasmussen on the keep. Rasmussen, nice carry, picking up 8.
Another good decision, pulling the ball back and getting to that edge.
Flashing his wheels there on the perimeter run.
That's right, doing it with his arm, doing it with his legs. I think he's having a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was one of the things that Coach Walkenhurst said before the game. Hey, we'll run RPOs, and I mean that's a designed run, but again, showing he's got that ability to utilize that speed and add that dimension in the quarterback running game. Here's a play action. Rasmussen looking deep, and that just overthrown was looking for McCoy.
Good looking play there. I like the way that developed. I like the way it started. Didn't expect that kind of a throw out of that setup and that formation.
I've been waiting for it. I've just been waiting for it. You knew they had, I mean, we saw the trickeration, right? But you kind of knew at some point they're going to throw out of it. I wasn't going to miss by much.
That's right. His man had a step, but here we go. 3rd down and short.
Same formation here. We'll go back to the ground. They've had success here. They have it again. Franson with the first down to the 25-yard line.
Big hole there right up the middle. I think that big offensive line of Pleasant Grove just wearing down that Farmington front. Seeing some big holes created there and able to just get some momentum and bust through. Big yards.
They'll stay in I formation here. This time they'll hand that off to Morris. He's been a nice change of pace back in this offense in the second half.
He has. They've really got kind of a really good punch there, back and forth, and both runners having a lot of success.
Yeah.
Just right in the middle of the field, too. Big holes, hitting them hard, hitting them fast.
Set up 2nd and 3.
I agree with you. I think this Pleasant Grove team will be fun to watch in Region 3 as they face the competition there in that in that region.
They'll stay on the ground. Morris slicing and dicing through traffic like it's I-15. Pickup of 8 and a first down.
Pleasant Grove, I think, excited to get off to a good start this year. Last year, they dropped that opener, then rattled off 4 straight wins. Had a really good momentum going into region play, and then hit that region of death. And
yeah.
Yeah.
And look, it's still the region of death, right? You still have AF, Lone Peak, Skyridge, Lehigh moves up, Westlake. But hey, I mean, can you go surprise 1 or 2 of those teams?
Corner Canyon moves out, then you bring Lehigh in. So.
I know. Hey, we'll take it easy on you, huh? Again, Farmington showing that pressure up the middle. Picked up. No, the edge gets there. Came in high, but Dante Coates able to come up with the sack.
Haven't said too much tonight about pressure on Rasmussen, but certainly Farmington Coates really getting in there fast.
And that's one where, look, you're always taught pick up the pressure inside out, right? Okay, well, if I'm blocking down on the inside pressure, I got to expect that edge, right? Got to do something, get rid of that ball a little bit quicker, or that tends to be the result.
And that's the result we got. So
That's the result.
here we go. Oh, back to my favorite formation here from Pleasant Grove.
And Farmington was ready for it.
Farmington really doing a good job on the line there to bust through.
And Farmington here will take a timeout. Their second of the half. We'll stop the clock inside of 4.5 to go. We'll step aside. Fourth quarter here from Farmington High School. Welcome back.
4:27 left in this game. Pleasant Grove, third down and quite a ways to go.
Thought it'd be a good opener for these two teams. Obviously a continuation of an opener from last year, but I thought measuring stick games, and we can talk about what we've seen, what we've learned from these two. I think Farmington, we've seen them get better as this game has gone on, Scott. Not the team that we saw in the first quarter. Still some things to clean up, no doubt, but have seen progress as the game has gone on tonight.
Yeah, this is a young team, and I think that's what you expect, getting better and better as the game gets on. And you like to see that. It gives them some hope going into the next week. They'll have one game behind them.
Yeah. Well,
experience.
And we talk about being close, but there's, boy, I don't envy the season schedule for Farmington. They get PG tonight. They'll do Bountiful next week, and then it's Skyridge and Corner Canyon. And then you got to take on Syracuse, who was the coach's pick in Region 1. So, I mean, the start of this season is no
brutal
slacker for Farmington. Like it, you open the season with a bang. So there's obviously some work to do. They're close, but man, there's not a lot of time before you're going up against the best of the best here in the state. Fourth down, PG going to go for it. Rasmussen has room to the outside, but he will not have enough. Taken out of bounds, and the Farmington defense comes up with the stop on fourth.
Dante Coates once again making a play happen with speed, making sure the quarterback was contained. So,
talk about upcoming schedule for Farmington. How about for Pleasant Grove? They'll stay in Region 1, take on Weber next week before they'll face Granger and then Layton. That Granger game all of a sudden looks really interesting. Expectations for Granger this year with Carson Suisui coming in and a lot of the talent they have around him out of the backfield and on the outside. That could be a really interesting game. PG, you look at that schedule, they could start 4-0 in that leading into region play.
Yeah, and they get that momentum. Who knows? That swagger, that confidence, if Rasmussen can continue to play with confidence, anything can happen. Once again, Farmington, some personnel.
They never started the play clock there, so all the time in the world here. There we go. 4:15 to go here in the fourth. First down. That caught by Metcalf, slips through one tackle, comes back to the middle, and Metcalf brought down. He's got a first down to the 29.
Metcalf, a great move to the inside there to shake the tackler, moving the chains. That's what they need more of. They need more of getting their playmakers the ball in their hands and letting them make plays. They just haven't been able to do that much tonight, Dane.
And we talked about that in the first half, right? How do you get Jake Metcalf more involved? And I think the second half they've done that, but it felt like it took a little while to figure that out, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, we'll see. Then continue that.
First down. Oh, pressure, and White brought down. Sack credited to Hewitt McBride. We've called McBride's name a couple times here in this second half.
Yeah, Dane. Once again, Pleasant Grove just pinning their ears back and coming at it hard. Well, that's a big boy coming there fast.
Yeah.
And you can see White there tucking, knowing what's coming there. Oh.
A loss of 9 there for Farmington. There's White getting this to Metcalf. You see Metcalf trying to evade the first defender. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I'd like to see that fight. Metcalf seems to have some spark in him, falling forward, getting a couple extra yards, fighting for yardage.
It was interesting. We talked to Coach Coates about Metcalf transferring over from a region school, what that's been like. So look, he walked in, he brought a lot of leadership, brought a lot of maturity. And he said the roster already had his respected him, And all it's done is he's just earned that even more so. Hard worker, dedicated in the locker room, on the field, been a great addition for this Farmington program. Is on third down looking for Coates. And that incomplete will bring up 4th and 10.
And I think that's important, even in a game that, pretty much at this point in time, we know the outcome of this game, but playing hard, that'll earn you respect in the locker room as well.
Yeah.
Playing for pride,
Yeah.
Playing for your team, and I think that'll go far for him.
2:17 left here. Farmington looking like, what have you got to lose? Offense staying on the field here.
White looking for a play.
Play clock down to 10. Down to 2. White just getting that off. Looking outside. That ball hung a little bit. Incomplete. There in the coverage was Makai Peterson once again. He's been solid on the outside tonight for this PG defense.
Yeah, Coach was close. Holding on to that ball, it would have been close. It would have been close to the first down, but
Pleasant Grove will take over. How many 4th down stops does PG have tonight defensively? Is that 5 or 6? It's quite a few.
Too many that I haven't been keeping track, and I can't remember. That's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Farmington really being aggressive here on 4th down, and Pleasant Grove kind of asserting its dominance there. Really showing the difference in the line of scrimmage play.
And how about this? No. That's the third 4th down stop inside their own 30. Now, that was a little bit different. It's in the 4th quarter. I get it, right? But
didn't think that was a stat that we would be talking about tonight.
Right. They'll go on the ground. Big lane up the middle. Franson still on his feet inside the 15. First down, PG.
Yeah, Dane, a lot of things Pleasant Grove has, learned this week, and excitement. I think that they've got to be excited about their effort here, excited about the line of scrimmage play, excited about the maturity of their quarterback, their defense. I think they got a lot to be excited about this year. I think Coach Walkenhorst, take a lot away from this.
What's been most impressive to you tonight about what we've seen from Pleasant Grove?
I mentioned it before. That line of scrimmage just seemed to have controlled the game. Really, every time they needed a big stop, it was the line of scrimmage that really, made the difference there. Putting pressure on White when they had to from the defensive side of the ball, offensive side of the ball, really creating holes, wearing down that Farmington line. Really, to me, that's the thing that stood out the most. That and the kicking game.
The Bulls up front, right?
That's right. You're really working hard on those cattle references, aren't you?
We're trying, man. A lot of beef up front for PG has been to their advantage tonight. Procedure penalty there will back him up 5 yards. Clock running here inside of 2 minutes. Little toss here. Franson spinning back to the middle. Get close and past the original line of scrimmage on the gain of 5.
Nothing there, and he still makes something happen. Yeah. That's impressive. The other thing, Dane, that I've been really impressed with in the game tonight is just how much, first game of the season, and Pleasant Grove, how many looks they've come out with on the offensive side of the ball. A lot of different things. Don't want to overcomplicate the offense, but really did a good job with tempo and with different looks to really throw this Farmington defense off.
That's a great point, because one of the things Coach Walkenhorst talked about was, hey, where Rasmussen came from, they didn't run out a lot of formations. We do. And yet he's been very attuned to picking that offense up, and he's executed out of it really well tonight. Speaks to the smarts of Carson Rasmussen to be able to make that adjustment coming into a new program, understanding all that dynamic of different combinations, different routes, different formations, and running it like he's a seasoned pro.
Add that to the field awareness that he's had tonight in the decision-making, and Coach Walkenhorst has got to be pretty excited with the effort there and what he's seeing out of that quarterback. And a big line to work behind. A lot to be excited about.
Carson Rasmussen, in his first start at Pleasant Grove, delivers the victory as he takes the knee, and that will do it. Pleasant Grove comes up to Farmington and will leave with the 18-0 shutout victory. Scott, your final thoughts and a selection of our player of the game.
Yeah, fun game to watch. I was excited to be here. Beautiful night. Fun night. Good play on both sides of the ball. We saw some action, some excitement, and some progression throughout the game on both sides of the ball as both sides kind of settled in. Obviously, Pleasant Grove built that lead, was able to hold on to it. But I think both programs can be proud and happy with some of the things that they saw tonight. Obviously, Farmington was hoping for a different outcome, but saw some better things in the second half there that I think they can build on.
Your player of the game
throughout the year. Player of the game. That's great. You know, I can take the easy way out and say give it to the line of scrimmage. Really appreciated what was going on there, but it seemed like we were calling Rasmussen's name a heck of a whole lot tonight, and just seemed to have command of that offense. Yeah. His first game here, different offense, just seemed to have that maturity, keeping his offense, calm and working down the field and doing what they had to do to win. So hard for me to come off of Rasmussen and the line of scrimmage, I think.
A seasoned group that plays like a unit, right? Offensively, defensively. We could have gone McCoy, could have gone Peterson. There's a lot of guys. Carson Rasmussen, the way he executed, no doubt. Great selection there. Congratulations to Pleasant Grove. They start the season 1-0 as they defeat Farmington 18-0. Want to thank you for joining us here on KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. For everybody here, for Scott Smith, for our guys behind the scene, and Matt Coma, Doug Jardine, want to thank you for joining us as we wrap up Week 1. Join us next week. Streams the rest of the ways we take you all the way to state championships, only on KSL Sports Rewind, presented by Hadman Associates and brought to you by Modern Missionary.